Go. All right, all right. Welcome to another episode, another special episode of the Evil Live. I'm your host, the Evil Tyrone. I've got a very special guest with me today, hailing all the way from Canada, Miss Natasha Saytan,
Hello.
aka Riot Girl 666. You can follow her on Instagram right now. She's got some amazing content on her page. The latest post really creeped me out with the in a good way,
Good. I hope so.
Yes. But welcome to the show. Welcome. Thank you for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. And thank you guys for joining in the comments. We got Sooth and Smooth. They say hello. We got Terrence McGinna, who was my previous guest,
Oh,
saying
yes.
hello. We also got Jupiter Kyle
Hey,
showing
girl.
some love, showing some love. There's a good story. So I would love to hear the story. So now
Uh,
now you that so is it something that you want to share the story, or
oh,
is it?
oh, it was just funny because we went to go see the Terrifier, actually. Like, we gave out candy Halloween. It's also my anniversary with my partner, so we went to go see a movie. I went to go see the Terrifier, and it's in this like really crappy mall, and there's a crappy bar in the crappy mall. So we went down to the crappy bar, and like it's one of these cash only bars, and my partner went to go take out money,
Yeah.
and I ordered for us, and the lady was like, I'll be right back. So she goes to the back and comes out with another lady, and they're like, you can't wear that. Like, you can't be wearing that on Halloween. Like, you can't be dressed like that. It's like a security problem. And I was like, okay, but they just let me in the movie theater upstairs. Like, she was straight up like, get out of here. Maybe it was like a religious thing. And you know what?
Yeah.
I get it. I'm sure it was something like that, but it was crazy. Like, I've never been refused at a bar before for my Halloween costume. So
Well,
must be
that's
spooky.
awesome.
It's
Yeah,
kind of a
that's
compliment, right?
Yeah, it is. It is because it's like, how many people can say that? Because I was like, me and Jaleesi Bear went to a Halloween party, and that because of everything that's going on, they don't want like the full face masks and stuff like that.
Right, right.
But as far as like from the post, like you were not in full face mask at
It was
all. You
my
could see who
face
you were. Yeah, it was your face. So
covered in blood.
you sold it. You sold the look. I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
say
I
that. You
appreciate
s-
it.
you, s- you sold
I'm
the
sure it
look.
was like the religious like connotation on it with the nun like headscarf thing, and like so I'm sure that's why, but I was still like, oh, okay, all right, well, I'll go
Well, yeah.
outside and drink then.
Well, yeah, they'll get over it. They'll get over it. But
Yeah, it
shout
was-
out to you and your partner for celebrating the anniversary with the Terrifier, because
yeah,
that's amazing.
it
That's
was crazy. It was very long though for a slasher. It was like 2.5 hours.
yeah. I've heard it's long. Like I haven't seen it yet, but I know it's coming out on home video, like home video. Like this is 92. It's coming out on Blu-ray. Next month. So I'm definitely gonna cop it. And show my
All the
support.
gore. The gore was there, all the gore you wanted, so it was pretty decent. It's just very long for a slasher, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think like when I saw the runtime, I'm like, holy crap, because
Oh,
the first one, I feel like the first one was the perfect amount of time,
right,
with the
like
perfect amount of pace.
exactly, and it was good though. It was fun, um, but yeah, the runtime was a bit much. I'm someone who's like, it's hard to get me to sit for 2 hours, so
Yeah.
it was a bit like, when is this gonna be finished?
Yeah, it's a but I hear it's a great time, and I'm also glad to hear that it made its money, like from
Oh
its
yeah,
budget, and it's just people look at horror, a certain way, and it's like it keeps on proving itself, whether it's
right.
Terrifier 2 or Barbarian,
Oh, I love
and just
Barbarian. Yeah.
like no, I'm not going to spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen it, but holy shit! Like some guy in the theater, he was like, "I didn't see that coming," and we all
Oh
we
yeah,
all started
same.
cracking up. It was an amazing time. But and shout out to your shirt you got on right now. I know before we cut on the camera, I was complimenting the Candyman shirt because we need as much horror merchandise normalized as you know, I need to see more of it on the street.
Of
I need to see
course, of
more of it.
course. I love Candyman. It's one of my favorite movies, like to ever exist. So gotta rep.
Yes. Yes. And how did you like the retelling or the continuation with Nia DaCosta?
I loved it. I think it was super important, to be honest. Like, just to have the story of Candyman finally be told through like a black lens, I think is really
Yes.
important. I really feel like just like the stories they were putting out there and how like relevant it is to like social commentary now as well. It's
Yes.
sort of just like, like all of us have the capacity to be a Candyman of sorts. Like George Floyd could be a Candyman. Breonna Taylor could be a Candyman. It's just sort of like, I think it was a super important message to like be putting forth in society right now.
Oh yeah, I think that's why it like kind of like hit me a little bit heavier than the original, you
Yeah,
know, especially
absolutely.
even after the movie, after the credits roll, you know, and you see all the imagery and stuff like
Oh,
that, and it's just
the
like
puppet like work is so amazing. Like,
they did their job. They did their job.
yeah, absolutely. I think it was really important for that to come out. Like, as much as I'm a diehard fan of the original Candyman, like nothing could compare to it. But I think they did a really good job in retelling this story and sort of making it relevant in the time now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was definitely they did their thing. They did their thing.
They did their thing, and it was awesome.
Yes, yes. We got Terrence says, you know, Terrifier 2 was a lot of fun, great gore. We got
Amazing gore.
Jupiter saying, yes, love your shirt, love your shirt. We got
Oh,
Gutser
that's my partner.
TV. Yes, yes. Shout out. Welcome, welcome.
Oh,
Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. And Soothing Smooth says the shirt is dope as well. You
thank
know.
you.
Oh yeah, so I guess we could get started with your horror origin story. Like, how did you get into the genre?
All right, so I have like kind of two origin stories.
Well, we got time. We got
All right.
time.
So originally, the first time I ever like kind of like fell in love with darkness, let's say, is when I was like about 4 or 5, and my mom had bought the Nightmare Before Christmas VHS tape, which I wore out, and she
Yes.
was like, she kept having to rebuy it. So it was always that. And it was actually the first time I was ever like, I realize what an existential crisis is. You know, like when he's like, I do one thing, but is there something else out there? I'm like, what? It's like, so that was like the first real time that I was like liking spooky stuff. And then there would have to be like when my dad's like passed out on the couch, like MPix was on, which here is like a movie channel, channel 55, where they just play movies all day long. And I was
Wow.
just sort of sitting there watching Friday the 13th part one. So that was
Yes.
kind of like the origin story, sort of like in awe, like one of these moments where you're like kind of looking and like, so that was probably the first time I ever like actually saw a horror movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's just the and you. It's funny you mentioned Friday the 13th, the first one, because you know a lot of people when they think of Friday the 13th, they think of Jason and stuff
Jason,
like
right.
that. But
Yeah.
it was the mom was getting it popping.
The
You know,
mom, she was
Pamela.
like, "Oh, can't believe you killed my baby," like getting in on it. Like, yeah,
Oh
that was amazing. Like, even in retrospect, especially like Friday the 13th part one, I can really appreciate because it's the mom. Because
yeah.
also, like, I feel like I forgot. And then when I was like 13 or 14, like I rewatched and I was like, oh wait, it's the mom. Like,
Yeah, it's definitely one of those like it's one of those like classic slashers, you know, classic moments, you know, especially when she's talking, you know, she's like, Jason, my special boy, you know.
yeah.
And also they're I think it's I'm not sure I'm pretty sure it's Peacock, but they're making a they're rebooting like the
Oh,
franchise, but they're telling Pamela's side, you
wow, I
know,
didn't know that. That's actually very interesting.
yeah, so like, we're getting like the origin story. So I'm like, I would love to see just like, you know, more of that because of course she didn't just turn crazy because you know her that happened to her kid. Like what exactly happened? Was there a little bit of backstory, you know, with that as
Right.
well,
The
you know?
divine curiosity to be like, but how?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to see like, you know, just see the in the mind of madness basically because you know she went way above and beyond revenge,
Oh
in
yeah.
that movie.
She went, like, she came for them and she went.
Yeah, it was a little loopy. It was a little loopy. Um,
Absolutely.
Now my next question would be, do you have a favorite subgenre?
Oh, I think zombies would be my favorite. There's just
Ooh,
something about zombies that I love. Like, I love Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead. I can't get enough of it.
yes, yes, more paramedics, more
I
paramedics.
yes, yes. I feel like a lot of people are tired of the zombie genre, but I can't get enough of it, honestly.
Yeah, and I think because it's, we had The Walking Dead, and it's been out for so long, and it's been so successful, and then people have seen so many spin-offs and stuff, that so many
Right.
iterations. But I'm like, there's always people that are inventing it and
Of
trying new
course.
things and new ways to tell these zombie stories and stuff like that. So you never can really get, like, I never really can get enough of zombies.
Same. I love it so much. Like, in terms of The Walking Dead too, like, sometimes the storyline gets a little bit, like,
Yeah.
drab, but the zombies are always epic. Greg Nicotero does a great job. He was
Yes.
with George Romero from the start, even, like, so you gotta have, like, a props to that.
Yes, yes, most definitely, most definitely. Jupiter says Return of the Living Dead. I know that's one of her
Yes.
favorites, as
Yeah, we
well.
talked about it before.
It's
So good.
amazing. It's amazing. So do you have a favorite zombie film?
Um, Probably the classic Night of the Living Dead. Also, our black protagonist, so I can't really go wrong with that.
Yes.
Return of the Living Dead's another one, and I also really love Day of the Dead.
Yes. I recently watched Day of the Dead again. It was so good. So
It's
good.
so good. I love Bub. Like, he's just so. I love him.
Oh yeah, it's funny because there's so many, like we were talking about, there's so many different ways that you can tell the story and stuff like this. And even with like, you go overseas and you go like Korean horror,
Oh,
and the way they just, like, the way their zombies move and shit. I'm just like, oh
oh
fuck,
my
like, I
gosh,
like,
yeah,
because I thought, 28 days later, I was like, oh no, I'm cool. But some
yeah.
of these Korean zombies, the way they be moving, I'm like, nah, I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good.
absolutely. Like, I could, like, I'm like, okay, a zombie apocalypse or there's slow zombies, I can maybe make it. But when there's those fast zombies, I'm like, that's it for me. Like, that's where I bow out.
Oh
Like,
yeah, oh
I
yeah.
love watching them, but I would not survive.
Yeah, I'm like, in a slow zombie apocalypse, bearing any, viruses or, contagions, I could pick up something. I could pick up a stick or, a piece of plywood and
Right.
just swing my way to safety.
Maybe, like, make your way, you
Yeah.
can, like, plot and, like, outsmart them, but when they're fast, you're just like, oh boy. Oh
Oh
boy.
yeah. It's especially something, I forget what that movie was. It was I think not Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt. He was in it.
Oh, World War Z.
Yeah, World War Z. Those zombies, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I was like, no, they're like Pylan. It's
It's
like,
it's
no.
it's like zombies on bath salts. It's like, what the hell is going on there?
I
What
feel
the
like
hell?
my fear of that is like why sometimes I get like mad when zombies start like having like certain sentient thoughts, like where they can like grab a weapon. I'm like, no, please. Like, like in Land of the Dead, like
Oh
they
yeah.
start being sort of like sentient and like grabbing weapons and like climbing walls. I'm like, no.
Or even, like, I don't know if you saw Netflix's Army of the Dead, where they
I did, yeah.
they're just like, I don't want my zombies thinking. I do
No,
not want
stop
them thinking.
thinking.
I don't want a zombie in the White House. I do not want a zombie, in at the working at the grocery store. I
No.
prefer my zombies, brainless, and just thriving off of one thing, brains.
Exactly. Like, I just want them to think about eating me, and then I can get away somehow, not like they start thinking about, like, stabbing me and things.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh
That Thackeray Binks 86 says, I'd be assed out if we had fast zombies. Facts. Facts. I
Absolutely.
I couldn't do it. I'd just be like, you know what? You know what, God? I give up. I give up. I give up.
That's it for me.
Terrence says, "Why does no one ever wear chainmail in zombie movies? That would stop a zombie bite, I think."
But would it be
I,
really heavy and you'd be slower though?
I think you gotta. There's so many factors that you gotta think of when you think of like your attire because things look cool. Like we're
Right.
watching people with swords and heavy chains and all this, but it's like in actuality you gotta be light. You
Yeah,
gotta
like, you gotta be swift, agile.
yeah.
Maybe like a like leather, I think could be cool because I feel like it
Ooh,
would stop it like a bite body wise, but it could
damn.
still kind of be light. I've
Or
been thinking about this for a long
or
time.
or spandex maybe. Like maybe
Hmm.
some just
Spandex
some
on the bottom, maybe with some knee pads. I don't know.
yeah, we got to raid the S what is that the S&M shop or something. We got to
Yeah,
raid the
gotta go
just
in.
just see that's how you survive that's who's surviving the apocalypse.
Yes.
That's who's
Well,
surviving the apocalypse. Ter-
absolutely.
Terrence said Land of the Dead was an extension of the Bub character, and Day of the Dead was showing an evolution. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
It yeah. It takes me somewhere when I think of zombies that can actually think and
Yeah, I'm like, oh,
plot.
I'm fucked.
Yeah, I'm just because I can barely think with all the shit that's going on in general. So I'm like,
Right.
if a zombie's thinking, then it's like, oh man, this isn't good. This isn't good.
I
But
always love that scene in Day of the Dead though when Bub puts on the headphones and he's like he's like realizing like, oh, music's dope.
yeah, yeah, it's very funny. It's very entertaining. To when it's on the screen, basically when it's on the
When
screen.
it's on the screen, oh yes, like most of the things.
Yes, yes, I can pretty much handle anything when it's on the screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah, just in real life, I'm like, nah, get me out of here. Get me out of here.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely. I'd be like, oh no. She's gonna go in a fetal position in the corner and I'll be there.
uh-huh. Now my next question would be, do you have a favorite decade of horror?
Okay, so I know I'm obsessed with the 90s, but I would have to say 80s just because I'm like I love slashers. Slashers are great. Most of the things that I've watched at the beginning of my love for horror are slashers. So I'm gonna have to go with
Yes.
those 80s cheesy movies. I just love it.
Yes. Now, do you have any favorite horror slashers like from the 80s?
I love Sleepaway Camp. I actually have a tattoo dedicated to Sleepaway Camp.
Oh my
Um,
God. I
I
love
watched that
Angela.
and I was like in awe. So
I love Angela. I
I
just
love
she's
Angela too. I love,
I'm
love, love
I'm
Angela.
one of those people who are just like I really go up for like the sequels of Sleepaway Camp. Like more
Oh, Sleepaway Camp
probably
seems amazing.
yes, yes. Just she's like, "Oh, I wish, she's playing her
It's
guitar or
exciting.
whatever." It's
Unhappy
just
campers.
yeah, I'm just like it's something so fucked up about that. Something so fucked up.
Absolutely. Also, like I find Sleepaway Camp have a lot of like fun kills. So yeah,
Yeah.
that would
All
probably have to be one of my favorites. As I know it can be seen as like problematic, looking
especially
through a lens right
nowadays.
now.
Yes, yes.
And I can completely acknowledge that. And yeah, I could see it. But in the 80s, I can really appreciate it too. The first time I saw that, I was like, what's happening? Like
Yeah, and I kind of like felt bad that because I recently rewatched it and I kind of felt bad that I laughed at the ending, because it's just like, why would you, whose decision was it to just freeze the frame right there? Like,
yeah, like the funny part is that freeze frame.
yeah, it's like,
I
what?
I always remember the first time I saw that. I was with my boyfriend at the time, and like we were watching Sleepaway Camp. He fell asleep, and then I like watched the ending by myself, and I like actually woke him up. I'm like, I need you to like see this though. Just like hit
It's
his head.
one of the most like just I'm not gonna say like super shocking, but it's like one of the most like what the fuck
Like a
scenes.
twist ending of sorts, yeah, where you're like, okay.
Hmm.
But all throughout that movie, it's like wild. Like the aunt is terrifying.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
all, ugh. She gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Her and the mom and what was that movie? Insidious 2. Like, just crazy moms.
Oh,
Just gives me the it's something very unsettling about that because
I
it's
know.
supposed to be safe zone
The
safety, but
nurturer.
yeah, but when you toss it on its head, it's like, oh man, I just recently was watching was it Mommy Dearest,
Okay, right. Is
and
that the one with the two kids and the mom, her face is all wrapped?
yeah,
Like, yeah,
yeah,
okay, yeah, that is very disturbing.
yeah, it was very very fucked up. It was very fucked up, you know.
Absolutely.
We got Terrence. He asked, how did the audience react to the gore of Terrifier 2?
Okay, so I went to this very again shitty mall theater. So there was like 8 people in there, and everyone was very quiet, which was very disappointing. Unfortunately, I wish I had a better answer for it, but like I think everyone was pretty normal because it was like 8 people, and I'm sure they're all into horror, so it wasn't like a huge shock or anything. But the gore, they did it. They went for it, and it was pretty amazing. There's
Oh
one
yeah.
scene in particular I won't talk about because I don't want to spoil it for people, but it's like a dinner table scene sort of thing, and it is wild.
Oh shit. Yeah. Well, I've heard, because they post clips and stuff on like Twitter and things like that, and they're like, oh, this scene, that scene. I'm like, all right, I gotta check this. I gotta check this
Oh
movie
yeah,
out.
it was, yeah. The gore was there.
Now you mentioned Sleepaway Camp. Did you have any other slashers from the 80s that come to mind?
I mean, Friday the 13th in general,
Yes.
Nightmare on Elm Street in general, like
Yes.
pretty much any slasher, and I'm here for it.
Yes.
I am here
Yes.
for it. Yeah.
So how did you feel about like the slasher subgenre when it sort of like evolved in the 90s, because it went from, very very, sometimes like cheesy and campy and stuff like that in the 80s, and then we go to the 90s, and then we get into like it seemed like very meta, especially with the
Right.
introduction of like Scream and stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I love those too. I feel like it doesn't have the same effect for me as the 80s stuff because I really like I just love the way camp was displayed in the 80s. And I feel like the 90s ones are still campy, but I feel like it's displayed in a different sort of way, like with like Ghostface and stuff. Those are all very campy still. It's just different. But I,
Oh
I
yeah.
love Scream. I love Scream. It's one of my favorite franchises as well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely up there. Definitely up there. We got the Ice Lord. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Um I recently watched what is it, Dr. Giggles. Like my dad, he had put
I
me on to
saw you
that.
watch that. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it. I need to see that.
I hadn't. That was my first time watching it. Like I was actually at Monster Mania, and somebody he had like all these racks of just DVDs. It was like 2 for 10 or whatever. So I'm just looking, and I see Doctor Giggles. I'm like, oh, I've heard about this before, but I didn't know what to expect. But holy shit! Now that was '90s camp all the
Oh,
way.
I need to
Doctor
watch it.
Giggles,
Maybe I'm gonna
yes.
watch it later tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. They've got like it was a VHS, like I guess they ripped the VHS and then put it on a DVD, but it was pretty good. You gotta get it where you got it. Uh Gutster says they have it on DVD.
Oh, so I guess
Yes,
we're watching that later.
yes, yes, yes. Awesome, awesome.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's definitely one of those where the character it make like I watched it and I'm like I want to be Dr. Giggles for Halloween.
Oh yeah, I love that. I think it's
Oh,
also like, is it like the Ice Cream Man or something? That's like another 90s slasher.
yeah, there's like a lot of them. There's like ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream or some shit. It's like,
Anything under the sun and it's there.
yeah, anyone that you think that would be safe around your children, like the
Right.
ice cream man or
He's
the
a killer.
doctor or the dentist, like the movie The Dentist.
Oh, I actually haven't seen the dentist because the dentist is my irrational fear where I'm like, no. So I need to watch the dentist, but I don't know if I can. We'll see.
Oh yeah, like it's funny. Like I had an irrational fear of the dentist, and it's funny. Like every dentist I go to, they're so nice. Like, and they want to ease your mind. Like I know the first dentist I went to, they were playing Mulan on the television screen. They were like, "Oh, watch this." And
Oh
then
my
as an
god,
adult, I go to the dentist. They're like, "Okay, well, which artist do you like?" And I said, "I love Amy Winehouse." So they started playing Amy Winehouse on the television or
that's so
whatever.
nice.
I'm like, "Oh, you guys are so nice in here. You guys get a bad
Yes,
rap. You guys get
they
a
do have a bad rap. They do. They do.
super
My
bad
my
rap."
childhood dentist reminded me of Dr. Nick from The Simpsons. So like, I'm just like
Oh.
terrified. He's like, it's fine. It'll hold up fine. You're like,
Tara said the dentist and the dentist too are both cool, but they are triggering.
I can
Yes,
imagine this. Yes.
yes.
I've
It's
still not seen the dentist, but I will have to confront my fear, I think.
oh yeah. Well, we all do. We all do. You know, whenever you get time, you know, it's definitely a ride. It's definitely a ride. Um, Now my next question would be, could you name a horror film that you wish you could have been on the set for?
Oh, wow. That's a great question. On the set for, hmm. I feel like anything Child's Play. Just
Ooh,
because I feel like working around the little like animatronic Chucky or like puppet or whatever they're using
yes,
would be very fun.
yes,
I just
yes.
think it would be like a fun thing to work on.
So what's your favorite Child's Play?
That's a great question too. Well, I mean, Child's Play 1 is amazing. Child's Play 2 is pretty good too. Bride of Chucky might be my favorite though.
Oh, Bride of Chucky is so much fun. I think Bride of Chucky would have to be like my second favorite. I think my first is Child's Play 2, then it goes Bride of
Child's Play 2 is
Chucky,
pretty good, yeah.
and then what's that fucking Curse of Chucky. The Curse of
Oh,
Chucky
Curse of
I really
Chucky. I also like Seed of Chucky because I think at that point we were just like laughing about it.
it was
Um,
so ahead of its time.
it
Like I
was.
look at it now, I'm like, wow, you guys are really on some shit, so ahead of its time.
It really is. Also, Chucky's always been like a big part of my family because my little brother was like always terrified of Chucky. So when we would go
Oh.
to like Blockbuster, I used to like chase him around Blockbuster with like the VHS of like Child's Play 2. And he would just like be running around. I'm like, so now to this day, he's still like iffy about Chucky.
Yeah, it's just that that whole franchise. There's not a bad Chucky movie for me. Like
They're
there's
all
not a
fun. I mean,
there,
the remake, I was like not crazy about the doll itself. The
yeah,
movie was
buddy.
actually pretty good, but the doll itself really threw me off, and I was like,
His
"Fuck
face,
this." He ain't
it creeped
there.
me out. I'm just like I'm not. I can't do it. I did see it in theaters, but I can't. I don't think I can do it again. Like I'm like he's Buddy. They called him Buddy. You
Yeah,
know. I'm like
they called him Buddy. He's not Chucky though,
yeah,
like for
yeah.
us. Also the show is really good. I've been keeping up with that, like the Chucky show. It's I don't know if you've seen
Oh,
it or
oh my God. I've seen the first season. I'm
it's
planning
amazing.
on watching the second season but I want to rewatch the first season beforehand, but it just blew my mind because they brought everyone back. I'm like,
I
this is
know, it's
amazing how
good.
you because so many in horror, a lot of times they're like, all right, we made this amount of money, we're going to reboot it. But then they're just like, oh no, we're going to use the same characters and then introduce new characters and just make it awesome and
Exactly.
throw shit back and it was just amazing.
One thing I can say about it without spoiling anything for the second season is it gets like kind of meta in a
Yes.
way. So I really like appreciate that about the second season. So I'm interested to keep watching for sure.
Oh yes. He's just Chucky's just iconic, and then
He's so fun.
Child's Play 2 when he's tapping the ruler and he's going towards the teacher, he's about to kill him. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah,
And
right.
even as an adult, when he's like climbing up the conveyor belt and going after Annie, he's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. It's amazing. It's certain scenes just stick in my
Child's
mind.
Play just amazing. Like can't compare to anything really.
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty much unfuckwithable. You can't fuck with it. You
Exactly.
can't fuck with it.
You can go on the funny side, you can go on more on the scary side, so it's pretty like phenomenal in that way.
Oh yes, oh yes. Yes. Gutser TV says there's a documentary about child's play coming out soon by the daughter of the main puppeteer.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
awesome. We're also so spoiled with horror documentaries. Like, just that is like a great example.
Yes, yes. We are. It's just it's been a great couple years. It's been a great couple years. Jupiter says the show is so good. Just got caught up on the second season. I find it's really bright.
Yeah,
Wow.
amazing. I agree.
Wow. So they take okay, okay. So I'm gonna love this shit. I'm gonna
Oh,
love
you're
this
gonna
shit.
love it. Yeah, yeah,
I'm a
absolutely.
I'm gonna love this shit. Terrence says Tiffany is the coolest for me.
Of course, it's incomparable.
Jupiter says she plays a huge role. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I
We're like selling you on this now.
yeah, I gotta get it. I gotta get it together. Because sometimes I'm like I don't just waiting for the week to week shit or whatever. But
I know it's
I
really annoying.
I have seen the ads on Twitter because they got the Chucky Twitter account and he's hilarious. And he's just whoever they've got running the account. Like it's hilarious. It's hilarious. But he's definitely an icon. Definitely an icon.
Absolutely. I'm like still trying to get my hands on like a Chucky doll, like a good size, like maybe about like this size, and like that I could carry around, take photos with.
Oh yes, oh yes. We all. I think everyone needs a good Chucky doll in their home. Everyone needs,
Absolutely. Everyone needs it.
but no matter what iteration, some people like the cuts on the face. Some people like, the metallic face where his
Right. He's
skin is
like
just ripped
Terminator
off.
vibe.
Yeah, yeah,
And like some people like just the original, like good guy.
yeah, yes. We all need a good Chucky doll in
We
our.
absolutely do.
Yes, which Jaleesa, if you're listening, it's happening. It's happening
Ah!
soon. But now I have my next question would be, do you have some of your because you are wearing the Candyman shirt right now, but do you
Yep.
have some of your favorite black horror, past or present that sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, of course. I mean, like Get Out is one of my favorite films. Like
Yes.
that is like a seamless film for me. Like I
Yes.
love the concept, everything about it. Like it's just so spooky, but it's also like I feel like it's palatable to people who are not necessarily like diehard horror fans that are like, I don't want all the gore or whatever. Like, so I think it's like very accessible for a lot of people as well. And it's an amazing story. That's one of my favorites. I also really love The People Under the Stairs.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
that movie. I feel like it's so like iconic, but also very underrated.
Very, very. Jordan Peele, he's I think he's remaking that,
So I've
rebooting it,
heard, and I'm very excited about that because, yeah, I can see it being retold because I feel like there's a lot of people who don't even know about it, to be honest.
and then getting retold, by a black man, by a black
Exactly.
perspective. So it's gonna be even doper.
Exactly. I like that as well. Like this whole idea of like there's these stories that are great and they're written by like white people, which no shade, just saying. But the fact that like black creators are going out of their way to sort of like retell them through like a black eye is sort of like amazing and it gets me really excited.
Yes, yes, because sometimes like the beauty of horror or the beauty of film in general is you get so many different perspectives. So I think we need as many different lenses to view things as possible. Like the recent Candyman, we wouldn't have gotten the messaging that we got if it wasn't for a black woman
Of
behind it.
course.
You know.
Especially with that, like it's like the story always was amazing, but the fact that it was always sort of revolving around like white women is sort of like the fact that now it's told through a black woman's lens, and it's also like you see a lot of black love in it and like black gay love and all this stuff is like kind of amazing just to see that representation as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it sort of like warms my little heart.
It's amazing. We got to get as many perspectives out there as possible, because it gets boring and it gets repetitive, over the
Exactly.
time. How many times can we see Chris Evans on the screen, even though
Yeah, a
Chris
little break.
Evans,
Shout
he's
out Chris Evans, you're dope, but
yeah,
I
yeah,
see I know what you're saying. Like
yeah, it's well, he's people's sexiest man alive right now, the sexiest man of the year, right
Yeah.
now. But
Like
it's
shout out.
yeah.
They're not wrong, but maybe for this year, that's good. It's talking about black horror though. Have you ever seen Bad Hair?
Yes,
It's so good.
yes,
I
yes.
love that movie.
We went and saw it at actually we saw it at the drive-in theater, for the
Oh, that's
first time.
amazing.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
amazing.
I just love that concept. I was just like, a bad weave? Oh, like you don't know whose hair you're sewing into your head, like
Facts, or just the whole concept of that, like just you don't know, and you could be you don't know what you're inviting, it could be a curse, whatever. You
exactly.
don't know what you're inviting, you know.
Yeah, I love that. It was so fun, and that's eccentric to like part of Black culture as well. So
Yes,
I
yes.
appreciate that also.
Have you seen the short Hair Wolf on it's on YouTube?
I saw a trailer for it, but I didn't see the actual movie.
Yeah, it was I think it's less than it's probably like less than 10 minutes, but it was really good as well. Like the uh black hair and stuff like that. It was dope. I highly recommend that one as
Amazing.
well. Just black people doing amazing things, doing
Yeah,
amazing
I love
things,
it.
you know. We got Terrence. He said, Get Out was just perfect in every way. You would
Yes,
not want to alter a frame.
absolutely. I agree.
Sue the Smooth says, yes, people under the stairs. Terrence says, people under the stairs. And I have confidence in Peel to handle people under the stairs with care and respect it deserves. And I'm sure he will offer something
Absolutely.
fresh to it.
I think that as well. Like I have no doubt in my mind. Speaking about Jordan Peele, we recently watched Wendell and Wild. Did you
Yeah.
see it yet?
Yes, I did.
It's so
It was,
perfect. Like I loved it so much. Like especially saying that I like one of the first horror movies I watched was Nightmare Before Christmas. Chose to see this with like that representation meant so much to me. Like representation across the board. Like there's a trans character, there's like a Muslim
yes.
character, there's like Spanish characters, Asian characters. So it was just really special for me. Like
It's like what the hell, Tim Burton?
I
What the
know that's exactly what I said. I'm like, black people could be dead too, okay?
like every universe, it's yeah, it's a rabbit hole I can go down, but
Yeah,
we know
same,
what it
same.
is. We know what it is,
And I love Tim Burton, so I was so
Yeah,
disappointed to hear him like say stuff like that. I was like, and now to see it like perfectly executed, like
yes. Yes, because as a kid, like sometimes you don't even think about that shit. Like you're just like,
of
oh,
course.
Tim Burton, movies, and but as you grow up, you're like, well, shit, where is everybody?
Yeah,
Why is
where are they
everybody? Yeah,
all?
where's everybody? I'm
You're a
sure
little
it's
bone dog, but you're not gonna have a black person. Like,
but it was what Jordan Peele and shit, I forgot what his name was. Was it
it's Henry
Henry
Selick. Yeah,
Halle Sally? What they did, it was just amazing. They took it to another level.
they really did. Like, it's literally partnership at that point. Like, sort of like bringing the representation and like that old school classic vibe of like claymation. Like,
Yes,
just brought it's just beautiful, and the fact that it was like a punk black girl main character. Just shout out. Like,
that
I was
was
like,
so hard. That was so hard.
am I finally being seen?
Fact, and then the sprinkles that they put in, of the
Oh,
characters, like the conglomerates and stuff like that, and them
absolutely.
talking the social commentary. I'm like, oh,
It's
y'all go with it.
amazing.
Y'all
And
go
not
with
to
it.
mention, I just have to shout out like a beautiful black punk playlist. Like they have like all the black punk bands on there, and it's amazing. Like Death and Polystyrene is just
Yes,
perfect.
yes, it
Bad
was.
Brains, like they had it all.
They were taking it to another level, even with the heart, that they brought to the movie. When she had to face those memories, and it was
Yeah.
just like I was like,
Oh,
damn.
the trauma. I was like, that's something I need to do still.
Yeah, I'm like Jack. They didn't have Jack do nothing. They didn't have Jack, coming nearly as a like he did learn his lesson, but it wasn't,
He's like, oops, I fucked up
yeah,
Christmas. And then he like learned his lesson, like
yeah, like one
just
in one,
facing what's inside of you and the things that like bring you down and having to overcome it and like overcome and come out of that as like
yes,
a young girl.
Yes, it would definitely, it was definitely something that was needed. It's definitely on the watch list again. A yearly,
Yeah,
it's
I
going
would
to be
watch
a
that
yearly
again
watch.
for sure.
It's going to be. I hope it comes out on Blu-ray eventually. I know it's on Netflix, but I hope they release that shit.
Yeah, you
On
can own a
Blu-ray.
physical copy of it.
Yes, yep. Now Terrence says you need to see Repo Man from 1984. Punk black girl is the main character. Wow, I did not. I've never seen. I've
I
never
don't
seen Repo Man.
I don't think I have either because I feel like I would remember a punk black girl for sure. But
Damn,
yeah,
I
I
need
will.
to
It's
check
on
that
the
out.
list.
Yeah, it's on. Thank you, Terrence, for mentioning that. I gotta. Terrence is a wealth of knowledge. He also has a podcast that he runs with West and Curly Girl at the movies. They do it's called
Amazing.
Psychobabble. They talk horror, and they just get really into it. They're very passionate about what they
I
do.
love that. Yes, I love when people are passionate about the things that they love, whatever it is. To be honest,
Yes, yes. It's just amazing when you see the chemistry on the screen, and just I don't know, I just that and that's why I think I love talking to people, like this. It's just, talking to people who are passionate about the genre, no matter what they're doing, no matter if it's the lifestyle or whatever it
for
is, like they're
sure.
just passionate about it. It's amazing. Now, how does it now? My next question would be, we're in 2022, because like growing up, I've been the weird black kid who's just loves horror, and I'm going to a sleepover and everyone's like, they're busting out Love Jones or Love and Basketball or whatever, and I'm busting out the Evil Dead, and yeah, and I'm just, and I didn't feel like I always had that community, pretty much in the with when it comes to horror, but now in 2022, especially with the internet and everything that it brings and offers, it's and it on social media with Instagram and YouTube, like there's a huge horror community out there, especially content creators of color, so how does it feel to be in that community in 2022, about to be 2023, and just to see how it's growing and flourishing, and just meeting new people? Like, how does it feel to be in the horror community?
I mean, it actually is amazing. Like, I also like I've watched a lot of like horror docs, so like just to see the community on those, I'm always like so sentimental about it. I do need to mention like my friend group when I was younger, we were all spooky. I was the only like black person, but we were all spooky, so I never felt like weird being spooky. All my childhood friends were all like into horror films. But now in 2022 to find this community, even if it's like an online thing, is like pretty amazing. Like I've been listening to like Girl That's Scary. I love
Oh,
them. They're
love
like
love
amazing.
them.
I was like, oh damn, Homegirl's gonna like lay it down. So that was like amazing to me. IDK Gravity, I love her as well. Like follow her.
Yes, Gravity.
Jupiter, my girl. Like
Yes.
I just can't help but feel like so at home and just feel so like safe in like this community, like especially with the community of color. Like it's just grown so much, like even in the last like year, like not that it's maybe grown in a year, but I've realized more people in the last year that I was like, oh wow, like it's actually a bunch of us, like look at it. And then I don't know if you've seen like Horror Noir, the doc.
Oh, I own it on Blu-ray. I own it on
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
so watching that, I was so excited for that to come out. I was like waiting like patiently, like so it feels really amazing, and to be like not only recognized but like to have like such a flourishing community like behind you, and to be able to like even talk to you like this is like pretty awesome.
Oh yes, it's so many people out there. It's so many, and sometimes like because of the algorithm, like it may not necessarily feed it to you right away, but once you fall down that rabbit hole, it's like,
Oh,
oh,
it's like yeah.
hmm it's amazing, especially like me meeting someone like you and just being like, oh, there's another person to talk horror with, another person that's passionate
Exactly.
about it, and who just loves the cool shit, who loves the creepy shit. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Absolutely, I agree.
It's I think even like, because I would think, I'm like, man, I wish I knew someone who uh who would like this, or I could talk about this, and next thing you know, boom, there's someone that I
Exactly.
meet that's like that, and it's amazing just to see how many different avenues people like are involved in, like writers, directors, people who just like, even like someone like I don't know, Gravity, Zero, like she's very
Yeah,
community based. Like we
she's
actually,
amazing.
yeah, we went to her Halloween party and it
I
was just
saw. I was so
amazing. Yeah.
jealous. I want to go and hang out with them too.
Yeah, it's just so amazing just to be able to connect with people and be like, damn, I wish I had you motherfuckers when I was growing up.
Right? Because it would make mean so much. Like even just like representation in general. Like I wish that I had that when I was growing up. I love that like who's growing up now has it, but I wish that I had that sort of thing growing up
Oh
too.
yeah. But that's it just means that we are the beacons for the ones that are growing up now, and just the ones that are
Right.
in their rooms and just love horror, and they can turn on YouTube or Instagram or whatever platform is out there, and just fall into it, and be seen, and then get to
Exactly.
discover more shit. Terrence, he says horror noir was so good. Seeing Keith David and Ken
Love him.
Foray together was a dream come true. It was amazing, man. And it was funny because one of the girls who was actually in horror noir, like I met her, like I was working and she came up to my register or whatever, and I didn't know that she was necessarily working on the documentary, but
Oh wow.
yeah, she's Ashley Blackwell. I
Okay,
haven't
right.
met her like formally yet. Like I would love to interview her one day, but she's amazing. She's another one that's like doing great things out here in the horror community. And seeing something like horror noir, you just discover so many different movies out there that weren't necessarily promoted. That's how I discovered Abby. Like I don't know if you ever seen Abby, but
No, actually, I don't think I'm familiar.
Abby, it's a movie. It's about a black woman, and they called it the Black Exorcist, basically,
Oh no
because
way.
it came out around the same time as The Exorcist. So Warner Brothers, they had it taken out of the theaters because it was making so much money, and they claimed copyright like infringement or something. So
Oh
they
no way.
so they tried to have it like scraped and erased from history. So it's like hard to find the DVDs, but it is on YouTube. Like someone did put like a rip of it on YouTube. So I just like I sometimes I just send the link out like, hey, if anyone hasn't seen this movie, see this movie because
Yeah,
it's
okay, I'm gonna
amazing.
have to put that on my list too.
Yes, yes.
Abby, Abby.
Yes, ABBY.
Yeah.
Demonic possession with a black woman. It's
I'm
amazing.
always looking for another thing with like a black person in it, so I will definitely put it on the list.
It's definitely amazing. I highly recommend. Like I'm planning on doing some sort of discussion about it. Hopefully in the future. Now, my next question would be: do you have a horror film that you wish you could see for the first time again? That you're just like, man, I want to experience this again because this moment was so fun for me.
That's a very good question. Huh. I feel like I already used my sleepaway camp answer because it's kind of that also because that was a wild time for me.
Yes.
Uh, let's see. Maybe Dream Warriors
Ooh.
because that was like pretty seamless. Love that movie. I feel like it's a little bit overrated, but I think it deserves the overration, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love that answer because
Yeah.
that's one of like my controversial takes because I know a lot of people love and go up for Dream Warriors, but I'm like I recently watched it and I'm like, I think it's a little hyped to the
It's hype,
heavens,
but it's still
but
good. So
but it's
imagine
still
if it
good.
didn't have the
Yes,
hype.
yeah, it's still good. Like I'm
It's
I'm
the
not mad.
stand.
I'm not gonna argue with anyone who is like, oh my god, this movie is amazing. It's Second Coming. I'm like, nah, it was good. It was good. You
I
know.
love a new nightmare.
Oh, thank you. I
Like,
I
that's
love
probably my favorite one.
I love meeting people who love A New Nightmare because
I love New
it
Nightmare.
was so fun for me. Like I really
Same.
loved it. I
I love
really
that
enjoyed it.
meta vibe. Like as I've said before, like the meta ness. I'm like, oh yeah, sign me up. Like, shh.
Oh yeah, because it's like, well, shit, especially as a kid, not like having a concept for everything. I'm like, well, shit, is this really it starts messing with your brain. It's like, is this really real? Like, could this really be happening? Because this actor is experiencing this on the screen, but I'm
Right.
watching the actors. So, could this be like, could this really come to fruition? You know?
Of course. Even like the original Nightmare on Elm Street too. It's like just that whole
Yes.
franchise is like has so much rewatch value that like I don't even need to watch things for the first time again. That I'm like, whoa, like especially
Yes.
when Freddy started being like extra funny and they started like just putting it in there that Freddy's just like one liners and that's it.
Yeah, it started hamming them up. And I'm like, you know what?
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here for it. Just don't, like, I know with the remake they tried to go a little
Oh
creepy or
yeah.
whatever. I'm like,
That's a little disappointing to
yeah,
be honest.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't
I
do it.
wasn't.
Like I
I'm like usually like I'm open minded to a remake or a retelling. Like I know a lot of people are like trash talking retellings, remakes. I'm not about that, but that one was particularly like I wasn't about.
no, I was it I came in with an open mind. And what they did, I was just like, I can't root for this character anymore. Like I
Yeah,
can't, it's weird. You're making it weird now,
and it's
so
crazy because the actor that they chose for him is a phenomenal actor. He plays like
yes.
Rorschach and Watchmen. Like he's great. It just wasn't. It just didn't nail it for me. It was just a miss.
Yes, yes. Terrence says the remake broke him. He said the remake broke him because, I guess, because of the subject matter and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
you've also got he said A New Nightmare was excellent. Wes Craven really took this tired character to a whole new dimension. You
yeah.
know.
I love that movie. Like I just when I first watched it, I was like, okay, wait, they're talking about how it's a movie this whole time? Like, I'm a sucker for that. I'm like, oh, yeah, like, sign me up. Even like when they did that in Scream, even though Scream 3 is terrible.
Thank
It's
you,
like,
thank you. I mean, people go back. I mean, yeah, yeah. People really are passionate about Scream. That's one of those franchises where people will like bite your head off about Scream. But Scream 3 is like probably one of the. It's probably at the bottom, somewhere at the bottom for me.
yeah, me too. Me too.
You know.
I really appreciated Scream 4. I actually loved Scream 4. I think it needed to be there, but Scream 3 just definitely, like, I don't know. I have a Scream ranking, I guess.
Oh yeah, I think we all do. Like we all. I
Yeah.
don't know if you have a letterbox, but like I think we
I
all.
do, but I'm apparently bad at letterbox. Like for some reason, I just don't. I'm like, wait, what is happening?
We all are, or a certain level. We all are. We all are. Now, Terrence says your opinion. Do you have an opinion on Halloween Ends? Have you seen it yet?
Yeah, I saw it.
You were there. You were
I was
present.
there.
It's
I
okay. This
didn't
is a
like
safe
it.
space. This is a safe space.
I didn't like it.
Me neither.
I laughed a lot, which I don't think I was supposed to, but I still appreciate the laughs that I got. I didn't like the storyline of like the boyfriend being like his like lackey slash like I don't know successor even like I don't know. I just didn't like it. I thought it was
When he gripped up Michael, I'm like, it just. That's when I was done. I was like, I Peacock, give me my $5.99 back. I want my money back because I just. It's not the character. I'm like, is this an SNL
absolutely.
skit? Is this an
I
SNL
know.
skit?
I was like
You know?
dying. I was like I was like the whole time I was like like rolling my eyes and like honestly I love Jamie Lee Curtis like to death.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
watch Halloween 426. I don't care. I'll watch it. But I just it was a miss for me.
Yeah, it kind of ruined the trilogy a little bit for me. Like it kind of was like a
Yeah.
misstep. But
Like I
they
think the last one I really didn't like either, but like what was the earlier one called? It was a Halloween.
the 2018 Halloween
Yeah, that
2018.
one was decent. I actually
Yeah.
didn't mind that one at all. Like then the second one of that trilogy, I was like kind of like whatever. And then this one, I was like really disappointed. Besides Jamie Lee Curtis, because I love her and she can't do no wrong. and I will watch anything she's in.
Oh yeah, I was watching Prom Night earlier today,
Oh
and I'm
yes,
like, damn, Jamie Lee Curtis was looking like she was looking great in Prom Night.
Dream Queen.
Yeah, yeah, she's definitely up there. She's definitely up
I don't
there.
know if you've watched Scream Queens, like the series.
Oh yeah, I have.
She's
Yeah,
so good in that. Like she's so phenomenal. Like she's so hilarious.
she was amazing. Scream Cruise was amazing. Like I
It
think
really
they
was.
it deserved more. It deserved more seasons. You know.
It really did. I heard something about maybe it coming back, but I'm not sure. So we'll
Well,
see.
we'll see. Hopefully, we gotta keep that we gotta keep that energy out there. We gotta
I
keep that
think so.
energy
We'll
out
like manifest it.
there. Uh-huh. Now, my next question would be, does horror do anything for you specifically as far as like your mental health? You know.
Yeah, I feel like it's always sort of been like an escape for me. Like, so for some reason, it's kind of like comforting. It's sort of like my comfort watches, like, which I think a lot of people think is like really weird,
We
but
don't. We don't.
but it's like for some reason it just like is nostalgic even for me. Like growing up, I always like watched horror movies, and it was definitely an escape. And I just feel like I'm continually escaping from reality by watching horror films.
Yes, yes. It's a beautiful thing, you know, because we have so many emotions that go into horror, and it's like a release, pretty much, you know. So
Absolutely.
that's why I always like asking people that question, you know, because it means something different to everyone, you know. So it's just it's amazing. It's amazing what it does, you know.
Absolutely. It's like some people are like, I rewatch Friends every year, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's
Uh-huh.
funny to see like the contrast of that because you're like, wait, why am I watching this as comfort? But at the same time, I just can't argue with it. It's just it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Terrence, he says, I laughed at it in parts too. I think Corey will go down as one of the worst horror characters. You know.
Yeah, like he was cute, but sorry, but you suck.
Jupiter said that scene was disrespectful to the franchise. Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts. Terrence says he was waiting for them to say live from New York, you know, like it's Saturday night.
Absolutely.
It's
Oh my
very,
god.
it was very, it happened though. It happened, you know,
It
we gotta,
happened. It was a thing that
yeah,
exists now.
it was a. Now, do you have any favorite horror television shows?
Okay, so Chucky, like I mentioned,
Yes.
definitely. What else is like a show format? I mean, I used to be really into The Walking Dead until it got a little redundant.
Yes.
But I did like that idea of sort of like deconstructing how people react in a sort of intense environment like that. Like at first I was very hooked on that because I was like, it's true. Like people are going to be any sort of way. Like people react differently in stressful situations. So at first I really, really, really was into The Walking Dead. But past like season 3, I sort of fell off. And there's 11 seasons now. So
I don't know. I think we've all like had at one point or another had the Walking Dead exhaustion, you know, like
oh yeah, we were just like,
it's,
I think I
yeah.
stopped watching it, and then like 4 seasons passed. I'm like, all right, I need stuff to. It's a pandemic. There's I need stuff to watch. I'm gonna like go through all these Walking Dead episodes. So there's definitely like that was like, but as far as TV goes, that was like a main like staple for sure. I really liked Ash versus Evil Dead. Can't go wrong with that one. It's
Yes.
fun. It's spooky, so you can't really go wrong with that.
Yes.
Uh, well, there's so many though too. Now that I think about it,
Oh yeah.
here I don't know if you guys have it in the states or there's somewhere the broadcast is Z Nation.
Yeah, we do have Z
Okay,
Nation.
so
Yeah.
that is like I think it's a Canadian show, but it's that one was really fun as far as zombie shows go too.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people say great things about Z Nation.
Absolutely.
it's on my list. It's one of the ones on
And
my
then
list.
I just started watching actually Interview with a Vampire, the TV show. So that's like a
Yeah.
more recent thing. So that's like for me, honestly, it's pretty good. Like, and I feel like it's much more like um gay than the other one is. Only like just I just mean like like face front gay. Then the other ones,
Gotcha.
obviously, there's like the gay undertones, but now it's just like in your face. I kind of love that. I
Oh
can't
yeah,
go to that. I'm like, yeah. And
times
there's
have
like
changed. You know, they got to
Louis is like
evolve.
he was Brad Pitt before, but now he's like a black guy. So I'm like, I'm into it.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are
The
going
recent
up for
one
the
that I've
new
been
one.
watching.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Guts of
Oh
TV says
yeah.
Dracula.
Have you ever heard of Dragula before?
You know what? I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet. Like I've heard of it.
No. It's amazing for anyone who loves like drag shows or like RuPaul's Drag Race. It's like a spooky drag show. So they do like
Wow.
monsters like all the time. So they're all called monsters and they sort of do this elevated version of a monster. Sometimes it's glam, sometimes it's filthy. So it's like it's a pretty good like it's on Shutter. So if you ever
Wow.
want to
Yeah.
check it
Oh
out,
yeah. I've got Shutter. I'm adding
it's
it
like
to
a
the
fun
list.
drag show for the spooky people. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. They like kind of break down barriers within drag as well. Like just to say like normal drag, it's very like to like a
Glitter.
glitter glam, but also like how females are perceived, like sort of like
Gotcha.
heels and curves in the right places and no body hair. This is sort of like breaks that down and it's just like bare super
Wow.
monster. So yeah, I would definitely check that out if you're into like sort of competition shows like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm definitely down. I used to watch on Sci-Fi. They had like I forget what it was called, but like it was a show where it
Right.
was a competition show where they
Or
did
like the
like
makeup.
prosthetics. Yeah, the makeup and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It's kind of
Like
like that. It's like really amazing how polished these people are. Like there's a new season that just came out, so definitely check it out.
yes, yes. Definitely gotta check that out. Terrence says Anne Rice signed off on it so the haters can take a hike.
I agree. I was reading the haters on Shutter and I was like, what? Like, really? They're like, no, I know Anne Rice stuff and she's not about this. So I don't know. I'm into it though.
Yeah, they someone always wants to say what someone is about or isn't about, and it's like shut the hell up, you
I
know.
know, right?
Just let it be. Let it be.
Absolutely.
Now, do you have a favorite horror villain?
Horror villain. Hmm. Honestly, I already said it, but I love Chucky. I think he
Chucky.
just like fucks with people and he has a good time and he's just like always funny. So I would have to say Chucky.
Yes, Chucky. Chucky. That's a great answer. You know, he gets a lot of love, especially with the television show. I'm glad that it's so good. Like I'm glad that
Me too.
it's something that like every once well not well more than once in a while, like I feel like a lot of the times, like as horror fans, we've seen a lot of like okay movies or whatever, or okay television shows, but when you have something that you feel like, oh, I really want to I'm really proud of this as a horror fan, I can bring this to someone and be like, I'm really
For
proud of
sure.
this, you
You're
know.
like watching their reaction. You're like, please watch this with me. I love like
Yes.
rewatching stuff with people that I think they'll like. Also, saying Chucky, I also need to like say respect to Tiffany as well because she's technically a villain too, and I think she deserves some love as well because she's super fun and just like a freaking maniac as well. So
Yes.
yeah, shout out
And
to that couple. They're a power murderous couple.
yes, and she stood the test of time, you know, like
She
she
did.
it wasn't just like a one movie, a spinoff, like, people really love that character, you
They
know.
love her, and I'm about it. I love her too.
Oh yes, oh yes. Now my next question would be do you have a favorite final girl or just like horror hero?
um. Okay, well, I already talked about my girl Jamie Lee Curtis, so
Yes.
she's like one of them. I don't know if you've seen Behind the Mask. So it's sort of
Yes,
like a
yes.
mockumentary. The
Hmm.
final girl in that, I forget her name, but she's phenomenal as well. Like, and the fact that it's deconstructed in that way, where it's like she's the final girl because it's like a mockumentary, right? So I
Yeah.
really appreciate her as well. And not a final girl, but in Night of the Living Dead, the main black protagonist, like to me, that stands the test of time for me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How did you think about the what did you think about the remake in the 90s, the
With
90s
Tony
remake
Todd,
with Tony Todd, you
I,
know?
I I liked it. I thought it was great. I don't see a lot of difference in the first one, but
Yeah.
sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you know
Yeah.
what? I appreciated it. I love Tony Todd like to death, so I can't really complain.
Yeah, Tony Todd's amazing, amazing. I think that's
That
like an
voice. Mm.
he's going to be Venom in one of the Spider-Man games, the new
No
Spider-Man
way.
game. Yeah, he's going to be
I'm
Venom.
here for that.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing.
He really, really is. Honest, like going back to the beginning of our conversation about Candyman, the only thing I can say is needs more Tony Todd. But I think everyone can agree on that.
Yes, yes. Need I like that. Needs more Tony Todd because
Yeah.
I need that on a shirt. Actually, needs
Yeah,
more Tony,
right?
needs more Tony Todd. Now
Like literally. It's the same with Nope, needs more Keith David. But I still
facts.
appreciated the parts I got with him, but needs more.
Yes, yes, definitely. Because Keith David,
He's so awesome.
he just stood the test of time, and he can sell it. He can sell it to me in an
He's
instant.
like two amazing voiced black men. Like, yeah, okay, I'm here for it.
Yes, yes. Now, the interview's winding down. I want to thank you for, answering all my questions with
Yes, thank
the
you so much for having
enthusiasm,
me.
and it's been fun. But I've got one of the last questions is, we're in a time where, we've got the metaverse and, social media and, virtual reality and stuff like that. So there's going to be a space in horror for that. So if I were to put on the Oculus goggles and I'm looking at, the world that, Natasha has created, what am I going to see? What am I going to see when I put the goggles on?
Well, I just think there's going to be a lot more representation going forward. As much
Yes.
as there has been, I think I need more.
Yes.
Um, I myself have been trying to get into like screenwriting as well, so I hope that I could like put forward some like characters and like subversive
Yes.
stories. Like, so I hope there's also a lot more creators out there, as well as myself, that hope to like put that forth in the future and sort of like try to gain more colored followers as well. So I hope to
Yes.
see more of that honestly in the future going forward. Not just black creators, but like of all different races and ethnicities and like genders. I just want to see it all. I just want to
Yes.
see like horror sort of blow up in that way.
Yeah, give me something new. Just give me something new. Just don't give me
Absolutely.
the same over and over, because if you give me something new, then I'm gonna we're gonna get better stories.
We're gonna get better stories. It's gonna raise better thoughts, and then we'll have more creators going forward in the future.
Yes, yes, most definitely. Terrence says Keith David is horror royalty. Facts.
Yes,
Facts.
absolutely.
Facts. Facts. Now my very last question is, if you could spend the day in the life of your favorite horror character, whether it be a person, a creature, a spirit, or just as anybody, who would it be? You could spend 24 hours.
24 hours. I think I would be Gizmo because I just want to be told I'm like cute all day and sort of like also have like a stake in things. I think I would be Gizmo. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
I love that answer. I love that. That's the first time. No
Like
one's
tell
ever.
me I'm cute and like actually I want to be fed after midnight though, so maybe I'll take it back.
Yeah, I'm like, as I get older, I'm like, well,
Like,
I can't eat as much, after midnight as I used
right.
to, but I love that answer. No one's ever gave that answer
I'm
before.
sure no one
So
has. I'm just like, tell me I'm cute and like give me treats.
and then when you get wet, or it rains outside, it's like, oh, gets
I'm already kind of that way. I'm like, my hair is the curl. Are the curls gonna stay? So you know what? I'm already there.
it's I love that answer. I love that answer. Gizmo.
I'll be
It'd be
Gizmo.
an yeah, it'd be a cute 24 hours, a cute 24.
Exactly, because my other answer would have been Chucky, but I said that like twice already. Because I just feel like Chucky fucks with people, and that sounds fun. So I'll go with Gizmo this time.
Oh, oh yes, oh yes, amazing answer, amazing answer. Now before we go, I did want to ask, because I did see the Texas Chainsaw Massacre behind you, so I wanted to know your thoughts on that franchise and what was your favorite movie in the franchise.
Ooh, great question. Actually, with Texas Chainsaw was one of five of the first I've seen. That scene at the
Wow.
end of the original where he's just like wiling out with the chainsaw in the middle of the road, like that
Yes.
terrified me. So The first one is amazing. That's probably my favorite. Um, Also, there's a remake. I forgot the name of it. It was with the two brothers, and like one of them's going to war, and one of them's maybe not going to war.
Yeah, yeah.
That one is really, really good too. I forgot the name of it for the life of me. I can't
I think a
remember.
new was it a new beginning or
Yeah, something like that. That one
yeah.
was awesome too. The franchise in general, like I have space for all those movies. The remake or whatever retelling one that just recently came out, it was okay. I can't really honestly, it was kind of like for me, but the whole franchise altogether, I love. Like, I think it's terrifying. This is one of the ones that are like one of the slashers that is like the most terrifying for me. Like something about like putting someone on a meat hook that just doesn't settle right with me. Just
Yeah, it's just fucked up. Like the first one, the original, I just feel like every time I watch it, I feel like I have to take a shower afterwards
yeah,
because
you're like
it's so like unsettling,
dirty.
so disgusting.
The
Like
remake was good too of the original.
the
Like
the
they had some
Jessica Biel,
shot
I
for
really
shot,
love
like
that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was really good. They had like shot for shot like scenes that I was like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm here for this remake.
Oh yeah. I recently saw this part two, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the one where it was like comedy horror. And
Right.
it threw me off and I was like, oh,
It
this is
always
fun.
does.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
It always does.
It was fun, and even the latest one, the Netflix one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like I get people's problems with it, just same with like Halloween Kills, but I still had fun. Like even the way he was slinging around the chainsaw, I'm like, how is this old man swinging around this
I
fucking
know.
chainsaw?
Well,
Like,
I like that one a lot more than I liked Halloween Ends. I just have to put that out there. Like think there was more good things about it than Halloween Ends for sure.
yes, yes,
One thing I didn't like from the most recent Texas is they brought back the final girl from the first one, but I feel like they brought her back in such like a way, like so it's like a Jamie Lee Curtis wannabe, sort of just like I don't know. She was there and then she like died like right away.
facts,
It wasn't like
facts.
so I didn't like how they portrayed that. I thought that she would have much more of like an epic storyline considering she was like the survivor from the first one.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
that was disappointing to me, but other than that, it was like pretty fun. Like that scene where they're all like, "You're canceled now, Leatherface." Like you're gonna get canceled. Everyone's like filming them. That was pretty funny. Like I love that.
Yeah, I'm just like when he's like, "You canceled, bro." I'm recording. I'm just like, "Oh man, kill this motherfucker now! Like
Yeah, exactly.
massacre everybody."
So that bus massacre was pretty epic. I'm not gonna lie.
It was a fun time.
Yeah.
I think I was smoking at the time. It was a fun time.
Oh yeah, it was definitely way more fun than Halloween Ends. That's just what
Yeah, yeah. Well,
that's
I think
easy.
everything is it's kind of hard for you not to be funner than Halloween ends.
It's true.
Although people do go up for that movie, so you know what? If someone out there does love it, I respect their review, their
Absolutely. We're
opinion.
all entitled to our opinion, right?
Yeah, but it's someone's first horror movie out there, which
Which is
I
also nice. It's a
yeah,
great way to think about it as well.
yeah.
Like, and that it's going to get somebody into horror, and I have to appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excellent, excellent. But yes, Natasha, thank you for joining me tonight. It's
Thanks for
been such
having
a
me.
pleasure, chopping it up with you about horror
You
and
as
getting to
well.
know you a little bit better. I would love to have you in the future,
I
whether
would
it be,
love that. Yes.
another discussion. I know you said you love the zombie genre and stuff like that. So, I would definitely love to have you on again. And thank you to
Oh yeah.
everybody for joining us tonight, in the chat, Terrence,
Yeah.
Jupiter,
Thanks for listening, guys.
Guster Television, the partner showing up and showing out in the comment section. Shout out to Soothing Smooth, Jaleesa, shout out to everybody who showed up tonight. Just I really appreciate it. I appreciate you for showing up and showing out tonight, for answering all the questions
Yes.
and the
Thanks for being so
enthusiasm.
easy to talk to and like just creating a safe space for not only anybody but also people of color. I think it's really important. Like I was like, oh wait, a black creator. I'm like, I'm going on no matter what. Like even if I'm anxious or like whatever, like I just needed to do this even for myself.
Yeah, because you know what it is. It's wanting something and then providing what you would have wanted, at a certain
Right.
time. So I'm just like I've always been, at a certain point I was looking for Black content creators in the horror genre, and I found a couple, and then it just snowballed, and then I'm like,
Exactly,
you
the
know what?
domino effect.
Yeah, like I for someone like me, I did not realize that there were so many like black women that were in love with the genre, so
Absolutely.
it was something new for me, just not seeing it, seeing is believing. So, I was just like, and that's why, like, on my platform, I pretty much interview everybody, but black women in horror, like I'm like, you know what, I gotta
With
show
a
that.
soft spot,
Yeah, I have
yeah.
a soft spot for that. Yeah, I've got to show up and show out for that. So yes, but good night, everybody. Thank you for joining
Bye,
us.
everyone.
Thank you, Jupiter. Thank you, Terrence. Thank you, Jaleesa. Thank you, everybody,
Lisa
for showing
rules.
up. Yes, yes.
She made me feel so comfortable before coming on, so I'm like, I appreciate her.
Yeah, yeah, she is amazing. She is amazing. She's
She really is,
definitely,
and beautiful.
yes, yes, yes. You hear that? You hear that, Jaleesa? She's smiling right now. She's smiling
Yeah.
now. But yes, thank you for joining another episode of Evil Live. Stay tuned next week. We're gonna be having another guest on, and I hope everybody enjoys your night. I hope everyone enjoys your night and watches something spooky tonight. Watches something
Yes, gonna
spooky.
watch Mr. Giggles later.
Yes, yes. I can't wait for you. I can't wait for your review. I cannot wait
I'll
for
let
your
you know what
review.
I think.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Well, all right. All right. Good night, everybody. Peace, love,
Night.
and horror. Peace out. Peace out. All right. And we're done.